Hello, my name's John. This is a Hobby Roundup, and you're watching War Games, Models, and Other Hobbies. Hello, and welcome to another Hobby Roundup. This month I've been doing a lot of bits box conversions. I've been starting to finish old projects that have been on the shelf for some time, so we're going to just jump straight in and have a look at some of the things I've done. Pretty much all of the things I've done this month there are videos of, so I'll leave links in the description. But to start with, we have my Space Marine Inceptors, which I created bases for. These were the original Inceptors that came out years ago now, but I created a selection of flight bases for them to look like they were landing. Really happy with the way that they turned out. I'm going to be painting these up as one of my chapters, the Void Crows. I'll put a little picture of their colour scheme up on the screen right now, but I'm hopefully going to be doing that quite soon. There's going to be a lot of painting videos coming up because I've got a whole lot of things to paint. But there we have the Sergeant of the group, and then two other Marines on those bases. I also made a little bit of terrain to go with them, so it just ties in with a battlefield whenever I'm kind of either displaying them or playing. Something that you would have seen recently as well, I started painting up the legs of my Imperial Knight. A long way to go on this project, but it has been sitting around for quite some time, so I'm looking forward to getting all of the other bits that need to be yellow painted up, getting the trim done and so on. If you'd like to see any videos on painting up a vehicle like an Imperial Knight, please drop a comment. I'd be happy to record some of those. And then we move on to the biggest thing I've done this month, and that is my Grey Knight conversions. So these were all bits box models, so bits that were left over from other previous projects and so on. What I'd like to do is go through each of them in turn so you can have a good look at them. Yes, there are videos on some of them, but not all of them, so like I said, I'll leave links in the description. But we'll start with my strike squad that I put together, and starting with the first model, this one was the birth of the idea of creating models out of bits I've got left over. Now, I do like the Grey Knights and I do like the models, but they are really quite small now. With the scale creep that's been happening over the years with Primaris, I don't like the look of the different scales if they're next to each other. So that's why I started putting together these Grey Knights. To get a smaller profile, I did put older backpacks on them, which gives them a slightly smaller profile, so they don't look as big necessarily, but they look very different. And the whole point of this squad that I made, they're each very unique models. And what I wanted to do was depict a Grey Knight squad that had been out in the galaxy for years. So they've been travelling around on whatever mission they were sent on, and now they're kind of coming back into the fold with their other Grey Knights, which is why I've got my other squad, which we'll have a look at. But yeah, it's a really nice kind of to do a squad where every single character has their very own definitive character compared to some other squads that you get nowadays. But yeah, I was really happy with the way that all of these turned out, especially like the side cannon conversion I did with a heavy bolter from one of the Stern Guard veterans from the Leviathan box set. But really happy with the way that these turned out. So I also created a Brotherhood champion based on the Primaris Judicaire model. I think that's how you pronounce it. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I really liked the look of the coat, the cloak slung down under the shoulder with the the sword and so on. So I wanted to adapt it for the Grey Knights. So I did tweak and adjust the model to get this one, but really happy with the way that this turned out, and I think it goes really well with the squad itself. They've got a lot of character, and I'm looking forward to painting all of these. which hopefully won't be too long before I do that. This brings me to the final squad of Grey Knights that I worked on. Now, I did mention them in one of my videos that I had an idea, but I didn't really talk about them at all. This is a Purgation squad, and it's based on the Infernus squad for the Primera Space Marines. Lots of other parts involved in putting it together. I wanted to keep with this squad the whole theme of not buying any new parts or anything like that. So if we go through the models themselves, starting with the Justicare, which was based on an Assault Intercessor, and I did have some old Grey Knight weapons left, so that's what's on with that's the sword and the Stormbolter. I didn't have any more Grey Knight shoulder pads, so I think I'm going to be painting details onto these, but I used details like the little shield, that shoulder pad with the chain on, and the Purity Seals is from the Deathwatch kit for the, I think it's the Black Shield, and then I've got a little padlocked book there as well from another model. But that was the Justicare from an Assault Intercessor who leads the squad. Apologies if that was out of focus. Let's bring that back into focus. And yeah, really enjoyed putting that one together. As I said, all of the other characters are based on the Infernus squad. So, again, I didn't have any shoulder pads for these ones, but this particular one does have a Grey Knight's specific head on it. I scraped the wings off the breastplate, just leaving the little skull. And I did that with all of them, although the heads that were on these other ones are based on some, I think it's the Sword Brethren heads. But they are quite fitting, I think, for the Grey Knights. Now, I wanted this squad in my head to be a kind of quite a clean squad without too much detail compared to my Strike squad, as either they're new to this task force or just because of their weaponry, they don't have any other bits of detail and things because there's always a lot of fire around and that kind of stuff. But I really like the way that they turned out, and I can't wait to paint these ones up as Grey Knights. If you want to see any videos of me painting these up, please drop a comment. I'd be happy to do so. Now, I've got a lot coming up in December. I interrupt the current Hobby Roundup to do a quick unboxing. I've just received a new old stock box of Citadel washes, one of my favourite sets of paints that was produced in, I think, 2008. Yeah, 2008. And what I want to do is open these up and see if my gamble has paid off and I've got a nice set of paints to use in upcoming videos. So, let's get my scalpel out and open up this box and we'll see what's in it. Over the years I've had a few of these. I do like specifically the Devlin Mud wash in there. I know there's Agrax Earthshade now, but Devlin Mud was there before and it is a good paint. But anyway, let's open this up, and fingers crossed they're a nice set. Okay, so nothing else in the box. Oh, we'll have a look at the brochure first before we look at the paints. So we have how to paint Citadel miniatures. Oh, quite apt. There's a Grey Knight on the front with what I've been doing this month, and a few other sets. The Foundation paint set, now that was another one that I really liked, and talks a little bit about painting skins, uniforms, armour, and leather. Anyway, let's have a look at these paints. So, some of these might be gone. Oh, now that purple, that's a dead one. So, one of them is dead. The Thrakar green, that's a good paint. So, 1-1 at the moment. Okay. The Bow Red. That as well. That's a good one. So I've got two good ones. Let's put them in like that. Shame about the Leviathan purple, the Leviathan purple. Never had much luck with that one, unfortunately, but hey ho. Okay, let's have a look at the important one. Whoop. Devil in Mud. Yep, that one's good. I'm happy about that. Now we've got the Ogre in Flesh. That one also seemed good, which it is. So these are about 16-year-old paints. Let's have a look at the Sapphire one. That sounded good as well, and that is good. Okay, very happy at the moment. Got two more. We have, yep, that blue is, yep, the blue is good. That's always a good sign because I need some of that. And the Badab Black is also good. So, okay, so out of those washes, I've got 7 out of 8 are good. Why the purple wasn't, I'm not sure. And looking in the tub that it was, doesn't seem to be any remnants or an issue there. But yeah, I'm very happy that I managed to pick these up. It's a shame that that one is, yeah, you can see there's the, in the lid, that is all of the ink wash. It is quite soft still. I wonder if I could save that. Maybe. Who knows. Anyway, that's alright. So, 7-1. I'm happy with that result. I've got some really nice paints there. So anyway, I will let you get back to the Hobby Roundup. Now, I've got a lot coming up in December as well, and my painting pile is getting bigger and bigger and bigger at the moment. So I'm foreseeing that the new year is going to comprise of more painting videos, which I'm really looking forward to. I've got lots of different projects on the go that I want to try and finish off and everything. But for now, like I said, I'm going to put links to this month's videos in the description. If you've got any comments or suggestions for other models that I can work on, please put it in the comments. But for now, thank you so much for tuning in. Also, thank you so much for all my new followers recently. I hope you're enjoying my hobby journey. But for now, my name's John, and you've been watching War Games, Models, and Other Hobbies.